What's up, y'all? Lindsay-Schooler back here for another 5-minute yoga. This time we're going to talk about the hips. So if you can find yourself in a simple low lunge, that would be great. You can do this sitting in a chair or on the ground. Now, you could give your knee as much cushion as it needs, and it will appreciate that. And maybe try to find about 90 degrees rather than much deeper. And then we'll just start to explore deepening that, and this back foot can be pointed or flexed, but maybe you have your feet and knees about hips distance so that the bones can line up with the joints. You have plenty of room to access this range of motion and everything feels safe and stable. So leaning a little bit in and out, the back foot again, pointed or flexed, will change the experience here. And maybe just being there and trying to sit or stand tall is plenty. You can add that bit of movement or be still. Now think about the way this interconnected tissue system works. If we were to keep this grounded and stability in the core, but take this arm up, you might literally feel this pulling of the tissues, and again that sense of interconnectedness. Then for me, I've got this right leg back, right arm up, and I'm going to go up and over to the left to potentially deepen that stretch. But it's not just about the stretch. We want to have some stability as well. So just showing you a little bit of it to explore that. Now, to stretch the back of the leg, we're going to get this other leg first. We're just going to lean back. You might need to be up on blocks, hand up on the table. Of course, if you were sitting in a chair, maybe you want to switch to standing in order to get into this stretch here. This front foot could be planted or flexed, and the knee may stay bent quite a bit. If you press into the heel and gently draw it towards you, you're activating that muscle group, and we can have a little strength and a little stretch. It can bring in that stability into the range of motion. So when people think about opening the hips, a lot of times we're talking about doing a squat, or this is what people think of as opening the hips, squat however low that you can go, or stretching the hips open in this butterfly stretch, which is in fact a range of motion that's helpful to practice. If you're sitting in a chair or on the ground, you could get one hip at a time to work in that range of motion. But what I want to communicate more than just this one range of motion is that all of the ranges of motion of our hips and all of our body and joints are vital, and we can miss some of them a lot. So for every time that we open this way, we try to increase range of motion this way with the counter stretch. And you can be still and breathe there. There's value in that. You might rock a little to explore, and there may be value in that. You can take as much time with any of these ranges of motion as you feel like you need, and when you're ready, we'll try out that second side. Again, checking in with the alignment, feet, knees as wide as your hips, thinking about just visualizing how your body is built, and you don't have to know much about anatomy to kind of get a sense of just what kind of positioning and everything will feel best to our body, and then being curious about the actual feedback that you're getting when you're in this experience, right? So it can be helpful to have some of this like anatomical, like alignment awareness, body awareness, but it's how does it feel in the moment, because your body may need something very different than what any particular teacher might be offering at any point in time. And all of our ranges of motion are so very different, and we need to explore different ranges of motion, all of us. So it's so important that you not worry about what it looks like, what it's supposed to look like, but just taking this information and thinking, okay, well each day I need to make sure kind of my hips and my spine and different parts of my body are being kind of challenged gently, and being able to access these different ranges of motion. And there's lots of different ways to do all of those. Check out the other videos that I've got, these 5-minute ones you can piece together into a longer practice. Drop your questions, comments, concerns, requests below. Peace.